It's Dr. Amanda with Straightsmile Solutions, straightsmilesolutions.com. I'm going to talk about something that is all over the internet. It's all over Google. It's popped up in my feed many, many times. It's something that occurred a little while ago, but it's got a lot of orthodontists' panties in a ruffle, to say it, to say it kindly. I mean, orthodontists are pretty worried about this, and I feel like a lot of my followers don't know about it, whereas the orthodontic community is talking about it. It's all over the podcast, everything. So I want to tell you guys a little story. I'm not even going to tell it to you. I'm going to make you guys look it up because I don't want to get sued. So these are the keywords I want you to look up. Okay, go to Google, put in the following keywords: aligner, comma, $28 million, comma, orthodontist, comma, Oregon. Should get you what you need. So put those 4 keywords in and look up the story about this orthodontist that is being sued by an aligner company, which I'm not saying which one, for allegedly violating the terms and conditions. So you got to read this stuff. I'm not going to tell the story. Basically, what it comes down to is you have to talk to your aligner company and see what the rules are. Can you offer whatever aligner you're using plus another aligner? What if your aligner is branded and that you're using that brand name all over your social media instead of the word Kleenex? Okay, you see what I'm getting at. We're not calling them clear aligners in our social media. We're calling them a brand that people use all the time when they refer to aligners. And they're using it in their website. So basically any place it had that brand name, which starts with a letter I, instead of saying that brand name, you should put clear aligners. That's what we're getting at. In every single post, in every single part of your website, do an audit of your office and see where that brand name is used. Is it being used on clings? Is it being used on paperwork? Is it being used on take-home paperwork? Is it being used in any of your social media, any of your website, any of your SEO, any of your keywords for your website? I mean, there's a lot of places it can be. Do an audit. Now, if you're only offering that brand of aligners, well, good for you. Easy breezy, no problem. But many of us, and I would say most orthodontists and most dentists most orthodontists are offering another brand, whether they're making in-house, whether they're using a white label brand, whether they're using a ULab, whether they're using ClearCorrect, whether they're using SureSmile, whether they're using Spark. Sometimes there's patients, maybe it's a cost reason, maybe it's attachments. I mean, that's the number one reason I can think of it. Let's say there was someone that refused to have anterior attachments. I was like, I don't know if Invisalign's the best thing then, maybe we should use something that has a higher trim line. That's what I would do, that's all it is. It's not that it's just probably better for that particular situation. Of course, watch all my content I have on attachmentless aligners and warranties and never making any promises, we can try, but you're probably going to have to put them on and never any discounts or anything like that because it's going to take way longer. But that might be an example, right? Occasionally, there's a consumer that comes in that has an issue with that aligner company. Maybe they just think it's too expensive. Maybe they just don't like it. Maybe they don't like the branding. Maybe they think it's just big capitalism. There's a lot of people, especially West Coast people, who don't like big brands. They would much prefer to do an off-label brand, even if it's not cheaper. I know, it's just psychological. Seems a little strange to me, but you know what? If it's just a principle thing, and I've encountered people like that before, and I'm sorry to the big aligner company out there, but so much people don't like you, It's just like a movie star. So much people just have a psychological issue wearing with a certain brand. So, okay, yeah, sure, I can use an off-brand it's an easy case. I can use an off-brand that's made by my lab. I mean, whatever, it's not going to come in fancy packages and it might not be a discount, but sure, I can do that for you. That's what I'm getting at. So the issue was this one doctor who was being sued was offering more than one brand, evidently had active cases with the main brand, but wasn't doing a ton of them. It's been a little while since he had done them. And so now he's getting sued for basically, I don't know. You read the stuff. I mean, seems a little, I don't know if it seems ridiculous to me because, there's got to be a fine line there. There's a value to this one company that controls all the IP and is putting in more than a big portion of what they make into IP and research and development and marketing, which all the other companies are basically feeding off of. They're eating the crumbs, and hey, it's no different than smiledirectclub. smiledirectclub did a ton of marketing out there and brand awareness, and now everyone's eating their crumbs and they went out of business. So, it happens, right? Okay. So I'm not saying one is right, one is wrong. I don't know, but I don't feel like most of you realize the risk of bringing in another aligner brand. Are they going to go after you if you're a tiny, tiny fish? Probably not. Probably not. But I can't promise you they're not. So, you know, be careful. I mean, maybe when you start your website, you only use the word clear aligner. And maybe when you do your marketing, you only use the word clear aligner. And then you can do whatever you want. It makes it really easy as long as you're not using their particular, you'd have to rebrand the paperwork, and all the paperwork you use would have to say clear aligner, and you'd have to make all that, your end of treatment documents, your contracts, your financial documents, everything like that, take home instructions. But it's definitely doable. But the problem is, does that have the same power? If somebody has decided they want to move their straighten their teeth, what are they going to search for when they look for a certain type of doctor near them? Yeah, they're going to look for the branded. So you got to make the decision. I can't tell you what to do. Talk to your own lawyer, talk to your own, look at your liability insurance, whatever. I think this is more of a lawyer thing. And just say, what am I going to do? I can't tell you what to do. All right, thanks.